Good morning and welcome to the Rabbitohs Centre. It's Captains Run morning, Saturday, 17th of May. And the boys haven't come out yet, but we've got Jez, Charlie and Miles over there. Just sort of come on early. We said 9:15. There's some families running around here and the South Media's out here. We've got Blake Solly up on the balcony there. We've got a few people in. I'll just have a look, show you. Some cameras and a bit of a crowd in today. But yeah, so we're just waiting. Now I was a bit worried about the weather, but it's a beautiful morning here in Sydney. The sun's shining, nice and warm. And so I got here a bit early and had a coffee at the Borough Cafe. Come out and was setting up. And there was a rehab group on the field. And in the rehab group was a bloke called Brandon Smith. The cheese was out there having a workout. And he was running pretty hard and looked like he was having a real crack. So he might not be too far away. Let's hope anyway. I'll just check the stream, as I usually do. Yeah, there you go. You can hear me on the stream there. And first of all, I want to welcome Karina Haser from Germany, who's on the stream. I'm not sure what time of the day or night it is over there in Germany, Karina, but guten Tag or guten Morgen to you. And welcome, and thank you for coming on to Bunnies TV, live and free, across Australia and around the globe. And we go to all four corners of this great planet we live on. And we're just standing by now for the players, like I said. But yeah, the cheese was out there and I had the camera on him and got some photos, so you can be sure that I'm going to share some of that a little bit later. I've got two cameras running here. I've got the Canon XF605 with the 30 times digital zoom, with thanks to George's cameras, George Street City. And I've also got the Sony A74 with the Tamron zoom lens, the 150-500. And Karina said, beat footy rather over there, and good morning to you. And thanks for making the effort to come on the stream. There's a few on there, and I like to come on and just make sure the stream's working and all that. Now, hopefully the boys aren't too far away, because they did say 9:15. There's about 40 or 50 people here waiting for them to come out. And I'm sure there's plenty more watching this stream wherever you are. But yeah, we're just waiting. So that's on camera. We've got Jeremy Monaghan, Rabbitohs media manager, Charlie Rabbit, the man in the suit, Miles Minto, who was doing some male modelling on one of the Rabbitohs ads with those new jerseys that apparently have been sold out, thanks to him doing some video work. And you've got Matt, Shannon, and I'm not sure who that other fella is there in the hoodie. Sorry, mate. And then we've got over here, I think we've got Nikki over there doing some work on the camera there as well. So yeah, it was raining yesterday, been raining the last few days, and I was a little bit worried about the stream this morning, but no need to worry because it's a picture perfect morning here in Sydney. Warm, hardly any breeze. Now, the Rabbits are taking on the West Tigers, and most of you watching this will know that we had a big win. And there's Terry Coulis has come out, Tezza. We had a big win against the Broncos. 2-point field goal. It was magic. And the West Tigers had a massive loss, 64-0 to the Storm. So, on paper, yeah, you think we should win this game out there at Campbelltown tomorrow. But you know that the West Tigers are going to be pumped to bounce back. We need to keep going. We need to keep this run going, obviously. And TSG's jumped in there, said Hello, mate. Thanks for your support, TSG, firstly. And he said the cheese looks fit and ready to go on him. So, yeah, look, he's running pretty good. And for a bloke that's coming off an ACL, the fact that he's out there running means that he might not be too far away. They're still saying 6 weeks. We've got Wayne Bennett coming up for media a little bit later, and I'm sure he's going to get asked plenty of questions about Latrell. I've got Latrell on the brain. He was out here before too. I've seen him having a coffee in the coffee shop. But yeah, I'm sure he's going to get asked a lot of questions about the cheese, and one of them will be his availability. And I know last time he got asked that question, he said he wasn't too fussed about him playing this year. He's just happy that he's going to come, and they're not going to push him along, so they're not going to rush him. But having said that, if he's available, wouldn't he be handy to slot into the rotation or start him wherever in the side? Latrell's jumped on, speaking of Latrell, that's why I said it. I don't think it's actually Latrell, but he said, when will Brandon Smith be playing? Well, like I said, when he's fit and ready to go, which hopefully is sooner rather than later. And okay, so the first man out is Bud Sullivan. And Matthew Dixon said, who to use Brandon Smith this year for the Rabbitohs? So yeah, they'll definitely use him. But yeah, Bud's come out. So welcome to the stream. This is the official beginning, so they're 6 minutes late, but better late than never. And Bud just have a little shake of the hands there with Chica, as we call him, Reggie Rabbit, also known as Charlie Gallico, also known as Chica. There he is. Does a lot of work with the pathways too. He's a Harold Matts man. He helps out the Harold Matts boys and gives them the motivational speech. And there is a bloke that's not a whole lot bigger than him, Jai Gray. And he just has a look over on the stream. But there's two of our money men. Two guys that are going to be the keys if we're going to beat the West Tigers out there at Campbelltown. We've got a lot of history between the Rabbitohs and the Tigers and the Magpies, and I shared a story on bunniestv.au during the week talking about some of the old games. I played in a few of the old games. You've got Steve Maven here on the camera and the commentary, former Rabbitoh. And I did play in a few of those old Magpies and Tigers games. There's been some great ones. Another one that comes to mind when the West Tigers were formed was the field goal that Mero kicked at the SCG. What a game that was. It's his first and only field goal he kicked in his career. And won us the game with about 5 seconds left on the clock. I think it was 23-22. People watching this will be going, yeah, that was a good one. So you can live chat. We will be filming the boys for around 20 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes until they say cameras off for ball work. But there's Bud. Him and Jamie Humphries in the halves. And it worked well enough last week to beat the mighty Broncos. On loan from the West Tigers. So you have a few mates he's going to be playing against on Sunday. So the game is the last game of the round, 6:15, and I think they picked the Origin team. And I'm pretty sure Latrell will be in it. But there's also, will they pick Keon? Will they pick Campbell Graham? Don't know. And there's Blonky's come out, Liam LeBlanc and hubby, Lachlan Hubner. Here comes the Queenslander, Jai Arrow, starting in the front row. Played well last week. Him and Keon in the front row seem to work well. So I think he's kept the same pack. And can't blame him, the super coach, because it was a winning combination and you're trying not to change a winning combination. The only change they have made, I think, is the return of a bloke you all know, Alex Johnston. And he's not out yet, but the try-scoring freak. Who would want to bet against him scoring against the Tigers on that left-hand side there, the lethal left? But he'll be out in a minute. Let's have a look at these boys first. You're watching this on our George's camera, like I said. And there's Blonky. There's Keon. He's got the shirt off. He's ripped up. Big fella. I've got him, a bit of shade on him there. Looks like a bit of an Adonis there, the mascot junior. And who we got over here? We've got Clarkey, Chase Clark with Kepi. And Chase Clark's doing a great job. He's taken over as football manager this year from Ello. And that fella there has got the respect of these boys, I can tell you right now. And there's Tass, Tass. What a try he scored last week against the Bronx. I asked him about it when he did media during the week. He bumped off Katoni Staggs, and that's not something that everyone can say they've done. He bumped him off, and then he picked up, as Wayne Bennett comes out, he picked up Fletcher Myers, and Fletcher Myers did well, passed the ball back to him, and he scored a great try that was the difference in the game in the end. So Wayne having a chat to, he puts the arm around his young protege once he's calling him back in now. I want to have a quick word to you, mate. What's going on? There's shoes back off. So, all right. Well, that's interesting. I don't know. I might just have something he wants him to do. Anyway, there's hubby out there, ready to go, starting at lock, filling in for the captain. He's been doing a good job. Queensland recruit, come down from the Dolphins with Wayne Bennett. He gives a little spray there to the young fella. We'll go back around. Who else is coming out? There's Davey, and the Mawalis are in today. I'm Jackie and the family. Some Rellos over from NZ, just met. There he is, the Coogee Wombats Junior. And if you're lucky, you might hear the Jackie Mawali whistle. That's you've heard probably before on Bunnies TV. So you can live chat, but I'm on my ace today, so we'll have a look at that when I get a chance. Those that are just joining us, I did get here a bit early, and there was a rehab group out there, and there's Talis come out, Tal Duncan. There was a rehab group out there, and in the rehab group was Brandon Smith, and there's the whistle. And Davey acknowledges. And you can hear Jackie laughing in the background. And where was I? Put me off. Yeah, McKaylee, Ravalawa, Tyrone Munro, and Brandon Smith the Chief. So 3 good players out there in the rehab group. Had a pre-workout before this. And there's AJ, and also Jamie Humphries has come out. He's got the long fringe hanging down there. Very popular young fella is Jamie. He always comes over and says hello to the fans too after the session. He's good with the fans. He's a very humble, very likeable young fella is Jamie. And there's Bailey Bentley Huppe. But AJ is one of the talking points. And hang on, so Wayne's had a chat to Jai. I don't know what that was about. It'd be interesting to see if he uses him a bit earlier this week, because I thought when he came on last week, we've only, the game was in the last stages, and he did well. He livened up the ruck. So I would suggest that he brings him on, say, after 25 minutes in the first half, or a little bit sooner when the opposition's tiring out. Wayne, what do you think? Maybe I'll ask him that in the press conference coming up after this session. There he is, and the boys are coming out now. There's Jamie. Jamie and Jai. Heard him. A halfback, a left footer, the kicking game. We need him to play well against the West Tigers. We need them all to, but it's a big day. It's a big game. It's a double header out there if you're heading out there at Campbelltown. The New South Wales Cup take on the Magpies at 3:55 in the curtain raiser. And both of those sides need a win. Gee, they haven't been playing well either side. Although our Cup boys didn't go too bad last time. So they'll be looking for a win. They're desperate for a win. Yeah. So who else we got here? Let's have a look at AJ. The flying winger, the PNG, the pride of PNG. And don't bet against him scoring 1, 2, maybe a hat-trick. Be nice to see him get back out there and resume his try-scoring duties. I'll put up a little video. Terry Curlitz, legend. How are you? Tezza. The Cairo. And here's Lever. Lever scored a good try too. Out there. That got us back in the game in the second half. Lever Villi, also known as Lever. He's happy. He's laughing. That's good. And here's another bloke that we all want to see is Stretch, Campbell Graham. And it looks like he's fit and ready to go. I heard a little rumour about him, but it's obviously don't believe what you hear until you see, and he looks all right. Big man. And he's got a bit of strapping, so he's, anyway. He looks all right. Stretch. Have a stretch before the session. Now we'll take you out on the field in a second. Welcome to everyone who's watching in the live chat, chatting away. We've got some people up in the balcony. We've got some families in today. But the boys are there. And there's Ewan Aitken, and he played well last week also. 80 minutes in the back row. I did mention this last time when I filmed the boys on Team List Tuesday, but it's worth saying again. Ewan Aitken, 80 minutes, 48 tackles, a great contribution for his team. And I will spin around now because they're out on the field. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, there he is. Lever. And here's Bailey. Shout out to the family over there in NZ. Young Mr. Hape. He's a relative of Shante Hape. Second cousin or something like that. But he was a good player too, Shante. But so is Bailey. And he's going to play a valuable role out there on the right wing. He's kept his spot. Fletcher Myers has dropped back to cup. So now we're out on the field with the boys. And here's Sut. I'll bring you around and look at him because he's one of the greats. Johnny Sutton. He's got the shades on. Very sun-wise. Rugged up. But it is quite warm here. We're looking across into the sun here. It's a beautiful morning. Not a cloud in the sky at the moment. Maybe a couple in the distance, but anyway. And this is your South Sydney Rabbitohs Captains Run, live and free on Bunnies TV with thanks to George's Cameras. Head to georges.com.au and the Juniors group of clubs, 3 of the best clubs anywhere in the world. The Juniors Kingsford, the Juniors Maroubra and the Juniors Malabar. Got plenty of shows on at the Juniors Kingsford, up there in the Winnell room. They've got the Neil Diamond show coming up in a couple of months. Don't miss that. Sweet Caroline, hot August night. Anyway, back to the action. And there's the boys. There's Jai Arrow with a white vest on. And he played well too against the Broncos. What a win it was. At half time, down 14-0. I know a lot of us would have been thinking, oh, hello, we're in trouble here, but that second half was what we want to see from this team. The fighting spirit of the Rabbitohs. We saw it in that second half. They come back and they beat a very good football side. Payne Haas, Renault. You know, the list goes on. They are a stacked side, and we took them down and beat them. And so, we're missing our captain, Cam Murray. We're missing a few others. But it's next man up mentality here, and the next man up is getting the job done. And there he is, Jamie Humphries, the Sea Eagles recruit. He's only played a handful of games, but they've been good ones. Since he's taken that halfback role, he's been very, very good. His kicking game is great. And he doesn't mind taking the line on either. And that's what you want from your halfback. You want a halfback that wants to run the footy and have a crack. And let's hope he's doing that plenty of times out there at Campbelltown. Now, it's going to be tough. I went out there last year and we played them and we got beat by the West Tigers. And they didn't have a very good year. They got the wooden spoon. So it doesn't matter where they are on the table. They're going to lift and meet the Rabbitohs. Everyone does. No one wants to get beat by this side. And as they get settled, I haven't seen Trell Mid out there, but I'm not sure what he's doing, but I'm sure he'll be fine. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there he is. I missed him. Someone just pointed it out. Speaking of the man, come off the hour. There he is, Latrell Mitchell. Latrell, 2-point field goal, Mitchell, or should I say Latrell, those 2 tackles that he did last week, Mitchell. The one on Payne Haas. Not many players in the NRL could have done that, but he did. And also Dean Mariner. Dean Mariner is very quick and that was a try saver. And you know, you win by 2 points and there's a bloke saving tries. It's because of this sort of effort that we win games. So there he is. Welcome to Bunnies TV. There's our South Sydney superstar fullback, Trell Mitt. And we're going to need him to have a big game again against the West Tigers, because it's a very important clash, because we're going into the bye. And it's always good to win before the bye. It's always good to win any time, but when you're going into the bye, you get the week off, you've won, and then you can come back with those 2 points. Now, the West Tigers, like I was saying, they're going to be up for it. They've had a better season than they've recently been going. They're 5-5, and so are we. So we're sitting exactly on the same points on the table. And so they are quite evenly matched. They've got some quality in their team. Not that you saw that last week, but the Storm in Melbourne, we've never beaten them down there either, so we can't be saying, oh yeah, we go better against the Storm, because we do not. Although we went a little bit better than 64-0, but having said that, doesn't matter. So it's game on tomorrow. So the plan is, go out there, support the boys. You can watch the Knock-On Effect New South Wales Cup at 3:55. Rabbitohs v Magpies. They've got a great history, these two clubs. And there goes Tezza behind in front of the camera. A great history, these two clubs. Two proud old clubs, and so have the Tigers too. We've got a long time rivalry with the Tigers and now the West Tigers. And yeah, so it's not an easy thing to go out there and win it in Campbelltown. There'll be a hostile home crowd. So they've got to play well. You know, one thing they did do last week is complete at 80%. Now you've got to do that. It's essential to do that. Hold the ball so that your star players like Trell and AJ and Stretch can get the ball. And it's a simple game sometimes. If you can just hold the ball, kick long, hopefully they come up with a mistake down the other end. No, that's what we used to do back in the day. I know it's a bit more complicated than that, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just getting a good start and putting pressure on the opposition, win the battle for field position, hold the ball, build some momentum, get a few tries on the board, and then make them chase you. So I'm sure that'll be the plan. And the boys are just going to be warming up for a while. We won't be doing this for much longer. We are just allowed to film the warm-up with thanks to the Rabbitohs. And yeah, I might just go to the bit of a wide angle there. Got the digital scoreboard over there. There's a camera on top of the scoreboard there. There's one there, and there's one at either end of the ground here on poles. So they've got all this session filmed for later use. Yeah, so if you're watching this over in PNG, I'm sure we've got plenty of fans over there. I know we have. Welcome, and your man AJ is back. And it's a timely return because we need to score tries against the West Tigers. There's no doubt about it. We've got to score plenty of tries, just like the Storm did last week. They forgot how to tackle last week, the West Tigers, and let's just hope they don't remember this week. But I'm sure they'll be better than what they were last week. Benji would have been into them all week. And yeah, so we can't be resting on anything. We've had one good win against the Bronx, but before that we were quite poor. And yeah, so the Jersey Flag have got the bye this week. The whole Jersey Flag's off because there is a rep round on. It's City versus Country, and we've got a few players involved in that. I'll just go through them. The City 18s is Cody Hill. He's representing the Rabbitohs SG ball team, and he's taking on City tomorrow out there at Cogra Jubilee Oval. They had a late change to the venue, so good luck to Cody. And then in the 16s, we've got three players: Anthony Maelangi, Peyton Tuttle, and Charlie Bateup. They're all going to be suiting up for the 16s, taking on the Country boys. And then on Sunday, the girls, the under-19s girls, we have got one sole representative, and that is Kiara McGregor. So good luck to our Rabbitohs youngsters that'll be playing in those rep games. Now they're on Saturday and Sunday out there at Cogra, so if you're in the area or even if you're not, make the effort, go out and watch them. I know that the games will be live on Bar TV for subscribers. And thanks to Bar TV, because we often use their footage to clip up the tries that have been scored in the pathways. They cover every game, every weekend, so they're a good service. And something Bunnies TV can never do. There's a buzzer going off. I think that's over at the netball. So there's Wayne having a word to Keon. And how good was Keon last week? We haven't mentioned it. Well, I mentioned it on Tuesday, and a lot of you watched on Tuesday, but let's mention it again. He played 72 minutes in the front row. And he ran for over 200 metres 24 times. Now that is huge, and that is valuable for your team. That your big man is running the ball and making big metres. That's what Payne Haas does. And that's what Keon Kalamatangi does. And he might have played himself into an Origin bench spot, who knows? He's done it before, and he played well when he made his Origin debut. I remember a nice ball he threw. He linked up and got the ball on, and it was magic footy. But anyway, we'll see what happens. That team is named, I think, Sunday night. Latrell will definitely be there, I think. It'll be Latrell and Crichton in the centres. You can probably lock that in because they've already heard... where is Trell? We'll get him on. You've already heard Laurie Daly saying that Trell is a man that rises to the occasion, and he usually does around Origin time. But I think we need to tell him it's Origin time every week because we need that out of him every week. And let's just hope that we'll start with the West Tigers and worry about the rest when they come up. There he is, Trell Matt. He's had a couple of injuries. He's had a little holiday for a suspension, but we want him out there playing footy every week, carving them up, running the footy, making tackles that you'll never forget, and kicking field goals from all over the park. Thanks very much. Not too much to ask, is it, Trell? No, he can do it. He's special talent. There he is, Jamie in the yellow vest. A few different coloured vests out there. Yellow, white. I'm not going to try and decipher any of that. Doesn't matter. There's the boys from Head On. All right. So we're just doing a few more drills. I might turn my other camera around here, seeing as I've got it here. All right. So yeah, we've got two cameras running now. We've got the, mentioned earlier, we've got the Canon camcorder here. And we've also got the Sony A74 with a zoom lens. So I try and operate both when I can. It's not that easy, obviously, when we're live streaming like this, but when I'm just pre-recording, I'll lock this camera onto something, and then I'll just go and use the other camera, take a few photos, because it's always nice to get some photos of the boys when you can. I've got a few of the cheese anyway. Like I said, if you're just joining us, Brandon Smith was out there this morning with the rehab group having a tough workout. They were blowing the boys, and it's quite warm here this morning. Sunny day in Sydney, Saturday morning. Here at the Heffron Centre in Maroubra. Decent crowd in, a few media. And we've got the coach, Wayne Bennett, coming up after this. So there's a presser. As per usual, the coach is up for media, and I'm pretty sure that the assembled media will be asking a lot of Brandon Smith questions. But anyway, welcome to the club, Brandon. If you're watching this, mate, I'm sure you're a Bunnies TV fan. He's a Rabbitohs fan, so I'm sure he's heard of us anyway. They're going to start doing some ball work now, so I don't think there'll be a whole lot long to go. I'll just spin around here, get a few stills if I can. You can hear me clicking away. There you go, they're blowing the whistle. So this is just a warm-up ball drill here. And I always like to get a few photos because you can use them on the website, bunniestv.au. Sorry, I'll get back on the camera. I'll set that to video mode. So I take video clips and also stills with the other camera. So, sorry, I'm back. Okay, let's have a look what we're doing here. So, okay, we've got the yellow vests over here. And I don't know, there's AJ there with the yellow vest on. So they're just keeping the ball alive here. So we haven't got long to go here. So the real ball work is starting soon. There's Humphries scoring a try. Nice to see him score a try. I don't know if he scored one yet for the Bunnies, but he's due. Okay, so they just keep the ball alive here, and then it'll be ball work soon. So the Rabbitohs will tell us to. Oh, nice catch there. That'll make the highlight reel. Yeah, so they just throw the ball around, and let's go over to the white. Oh, there he is, a little bit of juggling. We can't really see the white grip, but we'll go over to him. That's the over there. So they're doing the same thing, just keeping the ball alive. I don't know the rules of this game. It's probably pretty self-explanatory watching it, but you know, like a bit of a game of touch. Or there's AJ. I think we're better off on these boys here because they're right here in front of us. So yeah, I'll have a look at the live chat once they tell us to turn cameras off. I'll turn the camera around and I'll speak to the live chatters. But welcome to everyone who's been live chatting. I appreciate you coming on and watching on YouTube. Stretchy's looking all right, so that's good. So he'll be on the right centre with Bailey, and I think Tass will be on the left with AJ. Some action over here. Oh, I just missed Bud doing something there, but anyway, all right. Enjoy Gray over here. The rocket, the pocket rocket. So not long to go here. Thanks for joining us. And have a look for the coach's interview that I'll be putting up a bit later today. I'm not sure. I haven't really got many questions for Wayne today. Maybe just ask him something about AJ. What does AJ bring to the side? You know, the same sort of questions. Or will be 1 to 17. There you go. Full-time whistle. There's Sup. Getting in there. And there's Wayne right in the thick of things. Looking there with his troops. He's a hands-on coach. There he is. The boys are just high-fiving. All right, so they're just getting a drink now. And here comes Jez. So that's cameras off for the Bunnies. Just get a quick photo before it is. That's it, Jez? Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. And we'll just go on the rabbit over there. All right. And I will have a look at the live chat. So its camera's off now for ball work. And I'll just go back to the live chat. So we've got Matt Dixon's in there, and he said, when does Brandon Smith back? Well, it just depends how healthy he is. I'll go a bit further up. Joey Biden's in there. Gee, former president. He says, when's Cody Walker back? Well, I don't know. I saw him in the cafe this morning, and that's a good question. I can't really answer that. But hopefully only a couple of weeks. And TSG said, Tigers always live for us. They do. So, you know, no one's under any illusions. This is going to be we're going to thrash the Tigers. I think it's going to be a tough game, but, you know, like I said, as long as we can play well, we'll be okay. And then Latrell says, when will McKaylee play? Same thing, I don't know. I think he's only a week or two away. Looking at him, he's running okay. He was taking some high balls. And the 81st minute is in there. With Origin, if Trell gets selected, we have to buy, so we'll not miss a game. We have a buy. Oh, well, there you go. It's 81st minute says that Rabbitohs have got a buy, so if Latrell's in Origin, he won't miss a game. Well, that's handy. Very nice. Didn't know that. So that's thanks for that, the 81st minute. Yeah, so round 14, he's saying for Walker, yeah, so okay. And Dave Morton, hello mate, thanks for your support. I'm not sure if you're here this morning, but he says, can't wait to see the cheese in red and green. Well, me too, mate. And Dave Morton says, a great day out at Maroubra, so he's probably here on the fence somewhere, I'd say. Just having a look. Channel member. Yeah, so, yeah, it's going to be good. And haven't seen the cheese running. You would think he's not so much as 6 weeks away, but they're not going to rush him, so we shall see. All right, I'll leave it there. Have to pack up and get ready for this Wayne Bennett press conference. Thanks again to everyone for chatting, and we'll catch you next time here on Bunnies TV. Thanks again.